Welcome to ChemZap Chemistry. In this video, I will discuss 10 important MCQ questions based on the topic what is mixture. These questions are very important for your school internal exams, Olympiad exams and other competitions. Stay connected, watch the video till end and note down all the questions with answers in your notebook. So without wasting time, let's start. Now question number 1. Which of the following statement best describe the composition of a physical mixture? So now check the options. 2 or more substances chemically bonded. No, this is not the answer, right? Because in mixture there is no any chemical bond formed between the component of the mixtures. A single pure element that has undergone a physical phase change. No, this is not the answer. 2 or more elements or compounds physically mixed together without any chemical bond formation. Yeah, this is the answer. Now check the explanation. A mixture is formed by physically blended substances. There is no any chemical bond or no chemical reaction occurs during this process, during the formation of mixture. Because of this, what will happen? No chemical bonds are created between the component of the mixture and the component of the mixture. Simply they are sitting with each other without any interaction. As for example, this is the atom A, this is atom B, this is atom C. There is no any chemical bond formed between these atoms. Now question number 2. Our student mixes 15 gram of grey iron fillings and 10 gram of yellow sulfur powder in a beaker at room temperature. What is the magnetic state of the iron in this beaker? Magnetic state of the iron in this beaker we need to identify. Now check that this is the Olympiad question of SOF and NSO. So we know that the iron will retain its property, right? Why iron will retain the property? See the answer, correct answer is what B. But check the explanation of these answers. See that when there is a simple physical mixing at room temperatures going on, there is no any chemical reaction occurs between the component of the mixture. That's why each component of the mixture will retain its property. So sulfur is what? Non-magnetic, so it will be remain non-magnetic. Iron is having the what? Magnetic property, so it will have the what? Magnetic property. Meaning is that each component of the mixture is retaining its property. So in mixture what happens? Retention of the property occurs and there is no any chemical reaction occurs. Now question number 3. You add different amount of sugar to the 3 separate glasses of water. Glass 1 has 1 spoon, glass 2 has 3 spoons and glass 3 has 5 spoons. Why are all 3 glasses still classified as a mixture? This is the NSO 2021 questions. Because mixture has the what? Variable composition, right? That's why we can mix the what? Any amount of any component in any ratio, right? That's why B is the correct answer. Now check the explanation of the correct answer of B. Mixture do not combine in fixed stoichiometric ratio. The reason is that there is no any chemical reaction occurs between the component of the reaction. Mixture possesses the what? Variable composition. We can mix the component in any ratio. That's why the glass 1, glass 2, glass 3 will consider as what? Mixture. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is that mixture will have the what? Variable composition and there is again a retention of properties. Now question number 4. Why is the atmospheric air scientifically classified as a mixture of gases rather than a compound? This is the what? SilverZone iOS exams 2018 questions. Reason is that because in atmospheric air nitrogen is present, oxygen is present, carbon dioxide gas is present, right? And these gases are not chemically bonded. There is no any chemical reactions occurring between them. That's why we are going to classify these gases as a what? Mixture, not the compound. Now see the explanation of this question. Air is a mixture of nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide gas. And these gases are not chemically joined or there is no any chemical bond formed between these gases. So what happened? These gases float freely side by side because they do not share any chemical bond or they do not form any chemical bond. So these gases are free and these gases are retaining its property in air. So easily we can separate these gases by any physical method like the what? Fractional distillation method. That is why we are classifying air as a what? Physical mixture, not the compound. Now question number 5. A beaker of seawater, which is a mixture of water, salt and minerals, is heated to its boiling point. How does its boiling behavior compare to the pure distilled water? Check the options. Both liquids boil at constant temperature. No. Pure water boils over a wide range of temperature. No. Pure water boils at a single and sharp constant temperature. Yes, which is what? 100 degrees Celsius temperature. While seawater boils over a gradually rising temperature range. Yes, this is the correct. Check the answer of this question. See that pure substance contains only one type of molecule and have constant boiling point. But other side, seawater is a mixture. As seawater boils, only the water turns into the vapor. Because of that one, what will happen? The amount of salt in water is going to increase. So the salt concentration in the remaining liquid will increase continuously. Because of the increase of the salt concentration, the boiling point of the mixture will change or will increase. That's why this is the boiling point of pure water 100 degrees Celsius, and there is a gradual increase of boiling point of mixture. Now question number 6. When you mix dry sand and table salt together at room temperature, what temperature change occurs in the mixture? See that during the formation of mixture, no energy change take place. Once you will check all the options, then you will find the temperature rises sharply, no. The temperature drops below the freezing point, no. The temperature remains unchanged because physical mixing involves no chemical reaction or energy changes. Yes, during the formation of mixture, the mixture explodes due to the spontaneous formation of new compounds, no. This is not the correct answer. So correct answer is what? C is the correct answer. Now check the explanation. A mixture is formed by simple physical contact without any chemical bond formation. That's why no chemical bond formation, no energy change take place. Question number 7. A sample of salt water is tested and found to be salty. Why does the dissolved salt retain its characteristic salty taste in this liquid? This is the NSO 2016X. The salt has chemically reacted with water. No chemical reaction. This is not the correct option. No chemical reaction occurs, meaning is that the dissolved salt molecules retain their original chemical structure and properties. Yes, this is the correct answer. The water molecules have completely decomposed into hydrogen and oxygen. No. The salt has turned into solid metals that coats the tongue. No. So correct answer is what? B. Now check the explanation of these questions. Now see that when we dissolve the salt in water, so what happened? This Na plus of the salt, Cl minus of the salt is surrounded by the water molecules. So this Na plus of the salt is surrounded by the water molecule without any chemical bond formation. Only force of attraction will exist between the sodium ion and water molecule. Because of that, there is no any chemical bond formed between the salt and water molecule. That's why salt will retain its property, that is salty taste. So again, why there is a retention of property? Because of the absence of chemical bond formation. Now question number 8. Consider a closed container holding independent, unbonded atoms of helium gas and molecules of nitrogen gas. How is this system classified? This is a SilverZone iOS exam. A pure gas compound because of the both are gases? No. A physical mixture of gaseous element and gaseous compound? Yes. Because see that helium and nitrogen both are inert at room temperature. They will not react. So that's why B is the correct option. What about C? A new liquid substance formed by a spontaneous chemical bonding? No. A single monatomic element? No. So what is the correct answer? B. Now check the answer of the question number 8. The system contains two different substances, helium and nitrogen, because these particles are independent and not chemically bonded. Why they are not bonded with the chemical bond? Reason is that nitrogen is inert, helium is inert, and we are not providing any special condition of temperature and pressure, right? If we will provide again helium will not combine with the nitrogen because helium is what? Inert gas element, and nitrogen is inert at room temperature. Question number 9. A student examines a scoop of dry soil and observed small pebbles, tan sand grains and dark brown leaf decay sitting side by side. Why is soil classified as a mixture? This is the NSO 2015 questions, right? Again, once you will check all the options, then you will find option C is the correct answer. The reason is that the different components are only physically mixed and each component retain its original identity or property. So option C is the correct answer, but check the explanation. So soil is what? Solid mixture first. This is the one of these short answer questions, right? It is having these components, sands, pebbles, organic matters. Once they will mix together, right? So there is no any chemical bond formed between the leaf or the sand or the what? Organic matter. That's why there is a retention of properties, and that's why we can consider soil is a what? Mixture, not the compound. Question number 10. Why does a physical mixture of 7 gram of iron and 4 gram of sulfur differ from the compounds iron sulfide in terms of composition? The reason is that when you will mix the 7 gram of iron with the 4 gram of sulfur only, right, and without any chemical bond formation, so there is a mixture of iron and sulfur. But when you will see that ferrous sulfide, right, this ferrous sulfide is having the what? Chemical bond between the what? Ferrous ion and sulfide ion, right, and because of that one, this ferrous sulfide is what? Compound. So in this compound, ratio of iron and sulfur is fixed. This is the stoichiometric ratio is fixed. Now check the Explanation. This question contrasts variable composition with fixed composition. A chemical compound, once you will check iron sulfide, is having the what fixed composition. It always contains iron and sulfur in a fixed ratio, which is 7:4. But a physical mixture has the what variable composition. We can mix the what 1 gram of iron with 100 gram of sulfur, 50 gram of iron with 2 gram of sulfur. Then again this will be a what mixture, not the compound. So that is for today's video. I hope all these 10 MCQ questions help you to understand the topic, what is mixture. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to revise this question before your exam. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.